What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday. So in today's video I just wanted to talk a little bit more about what's going on in this tank. As you can see, I got my discus in here. I sold half of them because I couldn't keep all of them in this tank. It was way overcrowded, so I was not gonna put my fish in jeopardy. And so I gave them to one of my best friends, and so he's taking care of them. I actually sold them to him, but it looks like I'll probably be getting them back. I'm not too sure on that yet. But yeah, so let's talk about a little bit more about my new tank. This is an acrylic tank. Me and this friend of mine I gave the discus to, we actually went to get two tanks. He got himself I think it's a almost 400 gallons tank, and this is 300 gallon. The dimensions on it, I know it's a 10 footer by 24 by 24 high. I think I'm not 100% sure on the dimensions yet. Anyway, this tank was actually used before for a salt water setup, and so where you see the sponge filters, there was actually two overflow built-in overflows in there, and so I had to do a lot of work on this tank. It was badly scratched up, and so I had to use a lot of sanding paper and do a lot of polishing on the tank. It literally took me, if I put the amount of work that I have done into this tank, I want to say that I'm close to being 3 months working on it. The only thing that I got from that guy was a tank and a couple of parts that he was going to use for plumbing. But everything else I did myself. The polishing I did myself. I have some CPR overflow boxes in the back. I drilled these holes myself. Pretty much all the work that I've done it myself with a couple of tools that I got from work. And so I got two of those guys, one here and I got the other one over there on the other side on this end. They come with lids, so that's pretty sweet. I won't have to worry about too much water noise, but that's actually the least of my worries now. Lights, I will talk about those in another video, but and the software as well, I'll talk about it some other day. But this is what I wanted to show you guys. I went to an acrylic store close to where I live, and I purchased a bunch of acrylic to work on a small sump of my own design. And so this is where I've been, what I've been doing for the past 2 months or so. I've been designing it and cutting the pieces and pretty much making sure that everything is in place and where it needs to be properly. And so originally I was gonna, for the baffles, I was just gonna silicone them, but silicone doesn't bond well with acrylic. And so this section was silicone originally, but it was way too wiggly, and I was not gonna risk having water running in there and just perhaps having too much pressure, just breaking one of the baffles and then having water going all over the place. So I was like, no. So I pretty much ended up removing the silicone, and I decided to just cement the whole thing together, just weld the acrylic pieces. And so it's not easy to do, but it was definitely a fun project to do. I'm still not 100% finished on this. Most of the work is done though, but as you can see, I also plumb the overflow boxes, and so I'm not sure if you guys can probably tell, but the plumbing section in the back, all of that, I did that myself as well. And simple words, guys, a lot of measurements, and you want to make sure that everything is in place perfectly, because if it doesn't, and then something is unlevel or something doesn't fit straight, you're in for a ton of work. And so just take your time if you guys are gonna decide, or if you guys decide to do a project like this, you know. It's fun, but it definitely requires a lot of measurements, a lot of time spending on this. And so I also but I drill 2 holes in here for the water that will be coming down from the overflow boxes. And so originally this little tray that you see here, I was gonna have it just one piece going across, but I was like, well, you know, it kind of seemed boring, so I was trying to have a little fun with it. So I decided to just, you know, come up with a little bit of a ladder design, if you will. Now on these pipes, I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with those yet. Like I'm still working on the design, whether or not I will throw PVC pipe all the way across from here and then let it rain down to the filter socks, or just have an elbow in there and then let the water kind of splash down and then drain, or actually make its way through all the way to the bottom. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but that's a very small, you know, thing that I will have to pretty much do, you know, once I have everything done. And then on this section, the idea is that I'm gonna have a fluidized bed in here. I drill a bunch of holes through here so the water can go through there. And as you can see here, I also did a bunch of those cuttings in there just to make sure that water will flow through here. And then in this section, I'm gonna have a refugium. This part over here, I'm still not 100% sure if I'm gonna keep it like that. As you can see, I have some I don't know what those things are called, but I got these from pretty much these 2 sheets. I got them from the old overflow boxes that the tank came with originally. And so because I ran out of acrylic, and I was not gonna spend more money on it. As far as I haven't really discussed how much money I have spent on this build so far, but I'll get to that in a minute. And so in this last chamber, this is where my equipment will be running. I'm also gonna drill a couple of holes here, as I'm gonna be having return pumps running on the outside of the tank and not on the inside. But that's pretty much it. And so, well, let's talk about cost, money, pretty much. This whole thing, the whole materials, just the materials on this, I spent about, I want to say around $550, which is not too bad, trust me. I spent almost the same amount on my old wet and dry filter, and it was way smaller, and it was badly built. Like I could not fit no equipment in there, so I kind of have to improvise a little bit on that filter. And so pretty much the pricing on this is excellent. And then of course, you know, the work I did myself. So if you put that into account, you're looking at about close to, I want to say, to $800 if you put the labor into it. That's just on the sump alone. On the plumbing, on that I spent some good $200, maybe $250. All of those pieces, you know, they add up at the end. I got forgot what those things are called, but they're very important. You do not want to run a plumbing section without those, because if you ever decide to take this apart, you can just easily unscrew those and the whole thing will come apart. And I got those like all over the place. I got them here, I got a couple more up there, I got one over here, and they just pretty much go everywhere. And so they're pretty expensive, and the PVC is also not cheap, and so pretty much everything adds at the end. So yeah, so this is the build so far. I'm gonna probably paint the bottom of the sump, just so that I won't see the wood underneath. And then I'll probably water test it maybe 2 days, maybe 2 or 3 days from now, because some of the glue is still fresh, and so I want to let that cure 100% before I water test it. So yeah, this is pretty much all the work that I've been doing lately. I hope you guys like it. If you have any comments, any suggestions, anything that you guys think I can probably do a little better, hit me up, and I'll definitely consider your comments. Thank you.